Hello and welcome back to another MLB The Show video. Today we're coming back with some more Milwaukee Brewers March to October. In the last episode, it was kind of a disappointing one. We had our opportunity for a no-hitter broken up by a bunt. And then we did horribly with the Christian Yelich player lock. And then to round things off, we couldn't avoid the loss in Houston. So a pretty disappointing episode. We're looking to turn it around in this one. We have to avoid getting swept by the Cincinnati Reds. We're down 6-5 with 2 runners on base. I don't know if we're home or if they are home. So I hope we're home so we have 2 runners on base. But that is the next key moment. But before we jump into that moment, I'm going to go ahead and look at the stats here. Because if you look at our win graph there, if you look at the bottom of it, it says we are on the 77th game of the season, so we're just under halfway there. So I figured this would be a perfect time to check in on the stats of our players. So I don't exactly know how to frame these stats, but I think, these might be some of the more important stats. Maybe if I go one over, you don't really care about runs scored. But as you can see, I did sort by average, and the only player with over a 300 average is our bench bat, Ben Gamel. So Our roster, our starting lineup has got to step it up a little bit. I know before the last episode when we kind of had that disappointing stretch, there were a couple people over 300. Like I think Braun, Aguilar, Grandal, and maybe Yelich were all over 300. And now, Ben Gamel's only one. So looking to get those up. Other than that, we're getting some pretty solid power numbers. Sort by power here. Yelich is at 18 and Shaw. Braun is at 15. Aguilar is at 12, and these two run it out. So we have 6 people in double digits. I know that's not too crazy because, we are all the way at the All-Star break, but still some pretty decent power being put up. Our players are playing very solidly, but we could use a little bit more than solid to build up a lot more momentum. Getting a little bit of look at pitching here, it's actually Corbin Burnes, who probably is our best pitcher. I'm actually going to sort by starters first, but he's at a 10-3 record with a 3.19 ERA and 86 strikeouts. Zach Davies is honestly having a very similar year to that as well. He's at 86 strikeouts, 3.24 ERA with 1 less win and also 1 less loss. Other than that, our pitchers haven't been doing that well. I feel like Brandon Woodruff was doing a lot better, but then even though I got that +1 boost, we got the complete game shutout, and it should have been more than a +1 boost, but it still only gave +1. But honestly, he's been kind of falling off after that. I think he had like a 2.6 ERA going into that game, and now it's fallen all the way to 3.05. So I don't really understand what's going on there. Freddie Peralta with some good strikeout numbers. He's got over a 9 strikeouts per 9, so that's pretty solid there. If we look to our relievers, we got a lot of guys that, just put in work. Like a lot of innings pitched among these guys. And Matt Albers actually has the most. That's kind of shocking. He's one of the worst overall guys in the bullpen. But if you sort by ERA, the only one who's really having a bad year in terms of ERA is Jeremy Jeffress, which is completely fine by me because he is one of the better pitchers we have in our bullpen. So other than that, our bullpen's been pretty solid. Obviously, as a closer, Josh Hader has been very stellar. 21 saves in 25 innings pitched, 31 strikeouts, and a 1.44 ERA. He's having a pretty Josh Hader-like year. Honestly, he's having a less than Josh Hader-like year by real standards because if this were right, he would have about 50 strikeouts by now. But, what are you going to do? One more fun thing that I wanted to point out before we started is I was looking through the league leaders here, and you can see who I'm on right now, but JD Martinez is putting together one of the best seasons you could possibly put together. We're at 77 games in. I don't know what the exact date is in the game, but it's definitely before the All-Star break. And JD Martinez is already at 34 home runs and 95 RBI. This guy's on pace for about a 70-homer, 200 RBI season. It's crazy. And he's also batting .337, OPS of 1.114 with a 4.2 wins above replacement. This dude is going off. And I know that at some point during this season, there's going to be an opportunity to make a trade. And if this man pops up for us to trade for, that would be a serious consideration. But enough with all the stats. We're going to get into this first game, avoiding the sweep of the Cincinnati Reds. Bottom of the 8th, let's get right into it.
The Brewers have put together a strong campaign so far this year. For more on that, here's Heidi Watney.
Matt, most considered this a team to watch coming into the season. And while they haven't totally dominated, they have put themselves in a pretty good situation at roughly the halfway mark. They are not satisfied, however. The clubhouse sentiment is that they have not yet reached their full potential. And if that's true, if they do manage to take it up another notch in the second half, they could be a hard out in the postseason.
Thank you, Heidi.
Honestly, I completely agree with Heidi Watney. Everything she just said right there. In my opinion, we should be doing a little bit better than we actually are, but we've had some bad stretches that outweigh the good stretches, and I probably should have swung at that, to be honest. I didn't really want to swing first pitch. But yeah, I mean, our team honestly should be a little bit better. Before this episode, I saw a ton of guys batting over 300, good power numbers. It feels like we should be having a lot better record than we are. But I don't know. I think that might just come down to me not performing as well as I could to build up the momentum. And I worked a walk with Travis Shaw, loading up the bases for Ryan Braun, who had just said has a 303 average, so he must be having a decent day today to get that average back up over 300. So let's finish out his solid seeming day. He is 2 for 4. We can see it on the big screen. If we can get a base hit here with Ryan Braun, we might be able to take the lead. And that one's going to get through. Ryan Braun coming up in the clutch. Yelich is going to come home, and he scores. Ryan Braun with the 2-run single to take the lead in the bottom of the 8th. That is exactly what we asked for. Now all we need to do is rely on Josh Hader to get the save, and we complete this key moment. And there he is. I actually am surprised he's giving up a higher batting average against lefties. And right away we get a line out to Jesus Aguilar at first. So there is one quick out to start this inning. And Josh Hader, if we can get the save here, he'll pull into tied for second place with saves in the National League. And Joey Votto also swinging first pitch, but he's going to be able to get that one in there for a single. So we'd like to turn a double play here. I don't want things to get too crazy. And we get Suarez swinging on the fastball up. He was actually really early on that, but that's 2 outs, 1 to go, and Josh Hader seals this game. And Puig's going to fly that one to center. Eric Thames camps under it, and we steal this game away from the Cincinnati Reds, prevent the sweep, and we get a lot of momentum there. Wow, 7 fireballs. That should give us a pretty solid circle of fire. Why does the commentators keep talking? Whoa, look at those 7 fireballs feeding into a ginormous fireball. We should be on a good momentum win streak here. Haven't dropped a game yet. And I guess we only simulated 4 until our next one. And we have a player lock with Travis Shaw, one of our better power hitters on the year. He had 18 home runs when we checked the stats. And maybe we can get some more with him. So he's actually at 21 home runs by now, so that's nice to see. And I wonder what he's going to do once we get a couple of positive momentum boosts here, if we can get that, because that's a pretty solid looking season he's putting together right now, so I'd love it to be better. Also, after that game, we moved into a 93 projected win count, and I believe, yes, that puts us way... Ooh, the Cubs are in a big slide. That puts us way in the lead in terms of projected wins in the division. It also puts us way in the lead currently in the division over the Cubs. So that was a really big moment that we just won right there. And we need to keep it going here to make sure we stay on top.
Well, in case you didn't already know or needed a reminder, Travis Shaw is a pretty important player for this club.
Yeah, you know, that's an understatement, Matt. He brings so much talent to the table, and his success is absolutely essential to this team.
If this team gets to where they want to go, he's going to have a lot to do with it. It's hard to imagine it any other way.
So I guess Travis Shaw doesn't get Heidi talking about him, but they still bigged him up pretty much. His 21 home runs leads the Brewers, as we can see at the bottom. And we're facing a righty. Perfect. If we were facing a lefty with Shaw, this would not have been a very good player lock. Ooh, I actually might have had good timing on... No, I was a little early. Okay, we're good. I've worked the count to 3-2 with Travis Shaw. Come back from 0-2. And I worked a walk. Alright, I can't complain about that. First at-bat results in a walk for Travis Shaw, working out a pretty good at-bat. And I just realized we're down 3-0. I don't want to lose this game. Alright, back up to the plate with Travis Shaw here. Our walk didn't result in anything. Mike Moustakas ended up grounding into a double play to end that inning. We're still down 3-0. Oh, when I first made contact with that, I thought that possibly had a chance. I don't quite know where I missed that one. I thought I got good wood on it. Third at bat here for Shaw, already in the bottom of the seventh. Jeez, our offense just really can't get anything going. But that, oh, it's going to drift foul. Okay. And that one was right down the middle. It was a hanging curveball. That one's carrying a little bit, but he doesn't even get the running into the wall animation, even though he ran into the wall. All right, probably our final... Oh, but we have tied the game. Our CPU has tied the game. We're facing Felipe Vasquez, lefty-lefty, though. Oh, and that actually was a nice pitch to hit. Oh, the CPU's too smart for me, I guess. That was a good pitch combination. He threw a changeup below the zone to me in the last pitch, but we do have another bat here in the bottom of the 11th against a righty. Can we be clutch? And I grounded in to a double play. Why do I suck in player lock moments? This is unbelievable. We get another at bat here in the bottom of the 14th. Of course, it's against the lefty. That one, oh, I hit it well, but the stupid shift. I hate this game. Never playing it again. Well, that's the end of the game. Our fans are cheering, so at least we won. But no offensive production. I thought maybe since I worked some good at bats, I'd get a 1+. But no, nothing. Again, that's 2 player locks in a row with good lefty bats against righties for the most part that I couldn't get anything going with. I don't understand why I'm so bad at player lock moments. But at least our CPU pulled out the win there, and we got a little bit of a momentum boost. So at least there's that. No thanks to me. Is our next key moment going to be the very next day? It is. And it's going to be trying to keep our win streak alive. We're going to be entering that game in the top of the 6th, so it's going to be one of those longer moments. We're coming in with a 2-0 deficit. Well, I'd like to keep recording because I feel like I haven't done enough time-wise in this one, but I know that this next moment is going to take a long time, and it's probably deserving of its own episode. So I'm going to end this episode here. We had a pretty good run in terms of team success. I mean, we haven't lost in this episode. We're on like a 5 or 6 game win streak. So that's good. But it would have been really nice to get a player boost with Travis Shaw. I can't believe I messed that up so bad. But yes, that's going to be it for this episode of the Brewers March to October. Make sure you come back for the next one where we take on the Pirates down 2-0 to try and keep our winning streak alive. If you liked watching me suck with Travis Shaw, make sure you hit that like button if you want to see more Brewers March to October or more MLB The Show content all over the board, a lot of Diamond Dynasty. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to not miss a single video that I post. But that is it for me. That is it for March to October today, and I will see you in the next one.